Hello friends, welcome to Rapix. My name is Ravi Shankar. In this video, we will discuss about the recent guidelines issued by CBDT on the applicability of Section 194Q. If you do not have any basic idea regarding the applicability of Section 194Q, I have given the link in the description. Please do watch it before watching this video. Instead, if you are having some basic idea regarding 194Q, you can continue with this video. Let's get into the topic. First, I'll quickly read what Section 194Q deals with. Section 194Q deals with TDS on purchase of goods. Meaning, if buyer is purchasing goods worth more than 50 lakhs from a resident seller during any financial year, then either at the time of credit or payment, whichever is earlier, buyer need to deduct TDS at the rate of 0.1% on the amount exceeding 50 lakhs. If seller is not having PAN, then this 0.1% of TDS rate will become 5%. And this provision is effective from 1st July 2021. Since this is a newly inserted provision as per Finance Act 2021, there is a lot of ambiguity in the interpretation of the provision. Hence, to remove the difficulties, CBDT has issued guidelines on the applicability of Section 194Q on 30th June 2021 in the form of a circular. Now we will discuss what all the guidelines are issued and how to interpret the provision using these guidelines. For your easy understanding, I have simplified the terminology of these guidelines. So I won't be reading each and every line of the guideline mentioned in the circular. Instead, I will summarize them in an easy way so that it could save our time. However, if you are interested to refer the entire circular, I have shared it in our Telegram channel. Please check it. These are the guidelines we are going to discuss today. So let's begin. So this is the circular issued by CBDT with respect to Section 194Q. In this, first guideline is regarding the applicability of TDS on the transactions carried through recognized stock exchanges and clearing corporations. Regarding this, board has clarified that no TDS is applicable on securities and commodity transactions carried through these recognized stock exchanges and clearing corporations. In addition, it is also clarified that no TDS is applicable on transactions in electricity, renewable energy certificates, and energy saving certificates which are traded through registered power exchanges. Next guideline is regarding the threshold limit calculation of 50 lakhs for financial year 2021-22. This is one of the most important thing at which everyone was eagerly awaited. This part deals with two clarifications. One is whether this provision gets attracted for credits or payments done prior to 1st July 2021. With respect to this, it is clarified that if either credit or payment in respect of any transaction has occurred prior to 1st July 2021, then Section 194Q will not be applicable. Second one is whether entire financial year 21-22, that is from 1st April 2021, is to be considered for computing 50 lakhs threshold limit, even though the provision is effective from 1st July 2021. The answer is yes. So even the provision is not applicable prior to 1st July 2021, whatever purchases are made between April to June 21, such value shall be considered for 50 lakhs threshold limit calculation. So if buyer already paid or credited 50 lakhs or more up to 30th June 2021, then buyer has to deduct TDS on all credits or payments made to seller on or after 1st July 2021. Instead, if buyer credited or paid less than 50 lakhs up to 30th June 2021, and remaining amount is credited or paid on or after 1st July 2021, then section 194Q will be applicable soon after the credit or payment exceeds 50 lakhs to such seller during financial year 21-22. Let's take two scenarios here. One is wherein the value of purchases made by buyer prior to 30th June 2021 itself 50 lakhs or more. And the second one is wherein the value of purchases made by buyer prior to 30th June 2021 is below 50 lakhs. Let's see the scenario number 1. In this, X is a buyer and Y is seller. X made the following purchases during financial year 2021-22. On 10th April 2021, 20 lakhs worth of purchase. 15th May, 15 lakhs. 25th June, 15 lakhs. And on 10th July 2021, it is 25 lakhs. Now, if we observe the applicability of section 194Q, X made purchases worth 75 lakhs during financial year 21-22. And if you observe closely, the value of purchases done by X before June 2021 is 50 lakhs. So, X, while making the payment relating to this purchase, that is 25 lakhs, which is made on 10th July 2021, he need to deduct TDS at the rate of 0.1% as per section 194Q. That means on 25 lakhs into 0.1% TDS, X need to deduct and pay the balance amount to Y. Suppose seller Y doesn't have any PAN, then TDS rate to be deducted is 5% instead of 0.1%. So in this case, we will assume Y is having PAN. So hence X need to deduct 2,500 rupees, that is 25 lakhs into 0.1%. So balance amount, that is 24 lakh 97,500 will be paid to Y, and whatever tax is deducted in the form of 194Q, that is to be remitted to government. Now if we move on to scenario number 2, where the value of purchases done by buyer during April to June 2021 is below 50 lakhs. Here also X is a buyer, Y is a seller. Then value of all transactions of purchase done during financial year 21-22 are also same except for first transaction, wherein I have taken the value of first transaction as 5 lakh rupees. Now if we see the applicability of section 194Q in this case, because the value of purchases made by X during financial year 21-22 is altogether, it is coming around 60 lakhs. 5 plus 15 plus 15 plus 25. So it is coming around 60 lakhs. That means it is in excess of 50 lakhs. So section 194Q is applicable. So X, while making payment relating to this purchase, need to deduct TDS at the rate of 0.1% on which amount? Not on 25 lakhs. Because buyer need to deduct TDS at the rate of 0.1% on the amount in excess of 50 lakhs. Here the amount in excess of 50 lakhs is rupees 10 lakhs only, but not 25 lakhs. If you see here, total value is 60 lakhs. Amount in excess of 50 lakhs is rupees 10 lakhs. So X, while making payment relating to this purchase, need to deduct 0.1% on rupees 10 lakhs. That means 1000 is the TDS under section 194Q. Balance you will pay to seller, that 1000 is payable to government. From these two scenarios, what we can understand is, though TDS under section 194Q is not applicable for transactions done before 30th June 2021, the same transaction limit has to be considered for determination of threshold limit of 50 lakhs for particular financial year. That's why though the value of purchases made by X in this scenario is 35 lakhs, that was considered for arriving the threshold limit calculation for 194Q here. Next is regarding GST component, whether it is to be included or not for TDS calculation of 194Q. Guideline says if TDS is being done at the time of credit and GST amount is separately indicated, then TDS has to be done without including GST component. However, if TDS being done at the time of payment, tax would be deducted on whole amount. This is regarding the adjustment of purchase returns. Generally, when purchase is made and amount is paid or credited to the seller, tax must have already been deducted before the purchase returns happens. In such case, against the purchase returns, if money is refunded by the seller, then tax deducted earlier shall be adjusted against the next purchase of the same seller. Instead, if purchase returns is replaced by the goods, then no adjustment is required under section 194Q. Next comes the clarification regarding whether non-resident can be buyer or not under section 194Q. It is clarified that a non-resident can purchase goods from a resident seller only when such purchase is connected with permanent establishment of such non-resident. Here, permanent establishment means a fixed place of business through which business is wholly or partially carried on. This one is whether TDS is applicable if the seller income is exempt. Here, if seller income is exempt under section 10 or under any other act passed by the parliament, then TDS need not be done on the payment payable to the seller. However, if part of the income is exempt, then provisions of section 194Q continues to apply. That means if seller income is completely exempted, then no TDS is required. Otherwise, TDS is applicable. Next comes whether TDS is applicable on advance payments also. Yes, it is applicable on advance payments made by buyer to seller, since the provision apply on credit or payment whichever is earlier. Next is whether TDS provisions are applicable to the buyer in the year of incorporation. Answer is no. Under section 194Q, buyer need to have more than 10 crore total sales or gross receipts or turnover from business in the preceding financial year of the financial year in which purchase is made. Since this condition would not be satisfied in the year of incorporation, section 194Q shall not apply. This guideline deals with whether section 194Q will be applicable if business turnover is 10 crore or less. Clarification for this is, for the purpose of section 194Q, only business turnover needs to be considered, and turnover from non-business activity shall not be considered. And moreover, such business turnover should be more than 10 crores in the immediate preceding financial year or the financial year in which purchase is made. So, as per this guideline, only business turnover should be considered and such turnover should be more than 10 crores to be eligible for section 194Q. Next one is the most important clarification. That is, when for a transaction more than one provisions apply, then which one will prevail? Here it is clarified. If section 194O is applicable, that is TDS on e-commerce transactions, then 194Q will not be applicable on such transactions. That is specified here. Here it says, if 194O is applicable, then on the same transaction, TCS under section 206C subsection 1H will not be required. As per this clarification, if a transaction falls under both 194Q and 194O, then 194O shall prevail. And in case of 194Q versus 206C 1H, any transaction comes under the purview of both the sections, then section 194Q shall prevail. That means, if buyer deducts tax as per section 194Q, then such transaction will be out of the purview of section 206C 1H. So, seller need not collect TCS on the same transaction. Instead, for any reason, suppose seller collects TCS first. Then on the same transaction again, buyer need not deduct tax under section 194Q. Okay friends, that's it for today. Hope now you are clear about these guidelines. If you like this video, like and share it. If you like the content, consider subscribing the channel. In the next video, we will do a detailed practical understanding of section 194Q. Until then, goodbye. Thank you for watching.